It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hey, Ernie Johnson here, and I'm joined by Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. The fans are filling the seats in San Antonio, the site of our broadcast, and where the Spurs will be going up against the Philadelphia 76ers. Taking a look at the 76ers, playing under 500 basketball over the last 10 games. They can do better, and they'll try to get on the winning side tonight. And Kenny, we have lots to talk about. One thing coming up on the horizon, the trade deadline. Front offices have had time to evaluate rosters. What are your feelings about blockbuster in-season trades?
Huge deals are rare in the season, Ernie. You know, huge deals. You know, but typically they come in the offseason because teams have time to nurture and bring them together. But there have been some great trades in midseason. So you can find new life right after the trade deadline, a la Clyde Drexler of the Houston Rockets, to get us our second championship.
Good point. New players would be slow to acclimate. But, Ernie, I think at times you risk disrupting chemistry.
Sometimes worth the risk and sometimes not.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like a nut, and sometimes I don't.
Kevin Harlan, take it away.
It's home to the Alamo and the Spurs, San Antonio, Texas, as we bring you an interconference rivalry here at the AT&TCenter. The excitement of the NBA is on the way. I'm Kevin Harlan. We've got Steve Smith and Greg Anthony alongside, and our sideline reporter tonight, David Aldridge. Taking a look at Philadelphia, they're hoping they can carry over some of that momentum from their undefeated homestand.
And they prove that they know how to beat this team. We saw that in the first meeting. Can they make it a clean sweep on the season series? We'll find out tonight.
It won't be easy, but you know they are going to give their best effort to make sure that takes place.
And with tip-off coming up, we've got just enough time to hear from our good friend David Aldridge on the sideline. D.A., take it away.
Good evening, Kevin. Sixers head coach Brett Brown has gone through the lean years in Philly, but his coaching philosophy stayed constant during that time. He said, who's playing hard? There's a certain type that we're trying to grow in a city like Philadelphia. We've got to find people who can gain respect by competing. Kevin?
Thanks, D.A., and Philly loves guys that work hard, a great attitude to build your team around for sure. And Steve, when you reach this midway point of the season, the All-Star break approaching, how many teams are looking forward to get some rest at this stage?
I think a lot. I think sometimes when you have guys have that nagging injuries, you're looking forward to that break. Some teams that have been playing their best, you want to just get some time away, and hopefully you can come back after All-Star break. So having this week-long All-Star breaks now, it helps the body, it helps the mind, and a lot of these teams, it gets them back on track.
Kind of hit that reset button, huh?
Yes, I've been hitting that a lot.
Now a look at Philadelphia's starting lineup. Wilson Chandler out there with Saric. And there's Fultz. Then there's Embiid. And it's Simmons in at the guard position. DeRozan with it. Aldridge with a screen on Chandler. DeRozan passes to Mills. Good. And it's DeRozan picking up the assist.
And this is where Mills kills you. Tremendous range.
And Simmons kicks to Saric. Outside, Simmons. Embiid inside, working on Gasol. We're about 1 minute into the first. And DeRozan kicks to Mills. There's the feed to Aldridge. A floater, he lays it in. Aldridge has got his first points of the night.
With the amount of moves Aldridge has inside as a defender, you never know what to take away.
Here's Fultz. A rebound by Gasol.
Can't convert, but a good opportunity from mid-range. He'll take that every time.
It's stolen by DeRozan. It's tipped.
And don't forget about the long reach that Simmons possesses. He uses it exceptionally well on defense to come away with blocks like that.
Now here's Gasol. Following the missed shot by Dario Saric. Back to DeRozan. Over Simmons. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact. It's on Markelle Fultz.
Wow, he got whacked on that one. Shouldn't be much debate there.
And when you think about a slasher, a guy who makes his living attacking off the dribble, no better example than DeMar DeRozan.
Two shots.
That's good from DeMar DeRozan. You know, Steve, DeRozan a great ball handler for his size. He can isolate or work in the pick and roll.
Does a nice job of coming off screens and rolls, being able to create for his teammates, and also a big-time slasher that can put you on a poster.
And he makes both free throws.
This is where he feels 100% comfortable taking all the free points he can get.
Outside, Simmons. To the middle. The first quarter of action, 2 minutes in. Now, here's DeRozan. He had an 18-point outing in the last game against Memphis. Over in the corner, Gasol. Again, the miss by the Spurs. Last outing for San Antonio, it was a loss to the Grizzlies of Memphis.
And that can happen on the road. You can get a little bit tight, and often it really shows itself at the free throw line.
And as a visiting team, you're already behind the 8-ball. Can't afford to give up opportunities like that.
Here's Mills. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2.
With the acquisition of LaMarcus Aldridge, the Spurs going against the grain. Most teams going small and shooting threes. Aldridge, a big forward who loves the mid-range.
This is his first free throw of the game.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. Roof shots.
And the first one at the line is good. And with Aldridge in the paint alongside another 7-footer, the Spurs have plenty of length inside.
Yeah, they do. LaMarcus Aldridge with pretty good mobility for a player his height. He's able to move his feet defensively and cover the pick and roll perfectly.
And both free throws good for Mills.
And really few teams in NBA history have undertaken the sort of extreme makeover the Sixers did over the last 4 years, and a lot of losing along the way, but the fans have been surprisingly supportive of the rebuilding process.
The shot by Saric, no good. San Antonio leading by 4. Here's Bellinelli. Banked in off the glass. Bellinelli's got his first 2 points of the night.
Yeah, and Bellinelli, very creative, has that ability to get into the heart of the defense.
They grabbed their own miss. Embiid. Here's Fultz. He's coming off a 10-point game against Chicago. Screen by Saric. Chandler against Aldridge. Tries again, and it's sent back by Aldridge.
Great effort there. Aldridge sniffs out the shot, sends it back.
And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Simmons. Just a moment to look back at how things were last season for this team as we look at the shot breakdown for the 76ers.
And they were focused on spreading the floor and getting good looks from three-point range. That was the key to their offense. They put in a lot of work on the perimeter.
And here in the first quarter, with a little over 3.5 minutes played, And before the rebuild, the Sixers for a long time were stuck in mediocrity, treading water, Greg, as they might say.
Yeah, and it's hard to make that leap without top draft picks. And the Sixers plumbed the depths, if you will. Now, though, I think they've found their treasure trove.
And it's DeRozan missing. The 76ers trail by 6. Here's Chandler. Another miss by Philadelphia. Mills dishes to Gasol. Now here's Mills. Tight defense on him. From down in the low post, it goes.
You know, he's not someone who spends a ton of time in the painted area, but Patty Mills looking comfortable on that one.
Screen by Saric. Here's Fultz. Loses the defender with the screen and drills the jumper.
Excellent use of the screen there to free himself up and create space to make the open J.
And Mills kicks to DeRozan. They grab their own miss. Trying his luck deep. The shot comes out.
Well, this whole period for him, it's been challenging. You can tell he's starting to press.
No good from Simmons. Spurs leading by 6.
Perfect vision. Mills getting quicker these days at spotting the open man.
Here's Simmons. Turned in an outstanding game against Chicago. Screen by Saric. Here's Fultz. Here's Embiid. And the layup is good. Embiid's got his first basket.
The tenacity on the interior, just battling, bringing that effort and will for second chance points.
Outside DeRozan. A wide open look for Gasol. Good. And it's DeRozan picking up the assist.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
And Simmons kicks to Fultz. Trying to answer back, but that three is off the mark. The Spurs have gotten 6 of 11 shots to go down so far. Pretty nice shooting. Now here's Mills. Guarded by Simmons. Kicks it to Bellinelli. Spurs passing it around. Just 5 on the clock. Here's Gasol. And that basket pushes the lead to double digits. Gasol's got 5 points so far.
And the defense looks soft early on. They've got to summon up a little more sense of urgency.
And the 76ers decide to take their first time out here. This game coming on the heels of their win against Chicago.
And I know the defense wasn't great, but yet and still, their ability to stay composed was impressive.
When things come too easy, it's easy to lose focus. But they held each other accountable and played hard.
And the Spurs with some changes. Ginobili comes in for Marco Bellinelli. And it's DeJounte Murray in for Patty Mills. Fultz kicks to Chandler. And finished off by Fultz.
And for a point guard, Fultz is a great dunker. I mean, he gets up quickly off the ground to slam that one home.
Murray the pass to Ginobili. Outside DeRozan. Gasol setting the pick for DeRozan. Good looking screen by Gasol. Feeds to Murray. Beyond the arc. Offensive rebound Spurs. Gasol kicks to Murray. Back to Gasol. Goes back up. Pass to Murray. Dishes to Aldridge. Aldridge a screen. Shot off the screen. DeRozan's shot is off.
And right from the start, Kevin, they've been pounding the glass. Most of those 50-50 balls also going their way.
San Antonio leading by 7. Now Murray. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. Saric against Aldridge. And he uses the glass on the layup. And the Spurs lead by 9.
And really, it's been a major aspect of their offense in the early stages here. Their success working the ball inside and getting points from close range.
Now, here's Fultz. He's making his presence felt offensively with his scoring average up there at almost 13 points a game. For San Antonio, they've gone 8 of 15 from the field, shooting above 50% here tonight. Pass to Aldridge. He dishes it to Ginobili. Aldridge, no one around him. That shot's good on the assist by Ginobili. 6 points for LaMarcus Aldridge.
Man, hard to believe. Already they're staring at a double-digit lead, and we've just gotten started.
Fantastic effort. Right out of the gate, simply overwhelming their opponent.
And the basket is good. Chandler's got 5 points so far.
You know, Kevin, it's easy to forget, but Greg Popovich was almost fired by the Spurs back in '99. Rough start that year, under 500. The players caught wind that if they didn't win the next game in Houston, Pop would get the X.
Gasol, no good.
Allowing no space for the shooter to get comfortable. Just terrific defense.
What I love is he takes the right angle, affects the shot without fouling.
And on the defensive side, just a failure to match up.
Well, the one thing you want to take away is anything at the rim. Just too easy.
And San Antonio calls the first timeout of the game. And amazing to think about an all-time great like Popovich being on the hot seat. His players went to the mat for him, though, didn't they?
Some huge performances by Tim Duncan, among others. They really came out to support Pop. The Spurs finished that season on a tear, going on to win the franchise first NBA title.
Here's what San Antonio's going with right now. Pirtle, he is checked in for Gasol. Gay comes in for LaMarcus Aldridge. And it's Cunningham in for DeMar DeRozan.
And despite the defense being draped all over Pirtle, he gets the job done. He's money around the bucket.
Here's McConnell. His last outing, he had 8 points. Outside, Redick. Johnson with a screen on Ginobili. The shot by Redick, no good.
Yeah, they got that one, but early on, it's really been a struggle for them to secure that defensive backboard.
Murray kicks to Ginobili. Over in the corner, Cunningham. Shot clock at 5. That falls. Nice feed that time for Manu Ginobili. Ginobili's got 3 assists now in this one. There's the dish to Covington. Passes to Muscala. They set the pick. Back to Covington. It's Redick on the wing. He's covered by Ginobili. From 12 feet out. And all around the rim that time before dropping in. Redick's got his first points of the game. Spurs leading by 10. 1:33 left here in the first quarter. Gay kicks to Murray. He doesn't hit that one. Excellent D there by Johnson. Covington dishes to Redick. And he gets the bucket. Redick's got his second bucket.
The defense is pretty much helpless once he finds breathing room to get to the basket.
Murray kicks to Pirtle. There's 57 seconds left in the first quarter. It's stolen by Johnson. And they're on the break. Here's Covington. Makes it off the glass. There's 49 seconds left to play here in the first. Murray kicks to Cunningham. Gay left side. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. And Rudy Gay suffered the injury last season, but was still a wanted man when free agency rolled around, Greg, and San Antonio got him.
Yeah, I mean, the Spurs made a big offer for him, and Gay felt it was the right fit. Interesting to see how his role develops in San Antonio this year. Still, there's a feeling that he's got a lot left in the tank.
Shooting 2.
And that one misses.
And for the Sixers, trust the process was the motto. And the process now finally bearing fruit. You see the young talent, Now it's about figuring out how all these pieces fit together.
And he's good on the second. You were talking about the fit for these young Sixers. A bit of a logjam in recent seasons in their front court.
Yeah, I mean, they were in talent acquisition mode, just going for the best player available. And now as they see things taking shape, it's time to try and balance the roster.
And here is Murray. 14 points from him the last game against Memphis. Over in the corner, Cunningham. 6 to shoot. The three-pointer, no good. McConnell. No good on that one. And we reached the end of the first quarter. Spurs lead by 7. And we'll get things started in the second quarter when we return. And J.J. Redick, a focal point in his tenure with the Duke Blue Devils, both offensively and as a lightning rod for fans.
I think I'll forever be associated with Duke and Duke basketball. And obviously that's a polarizing topic for some people. They like me, some people don't like me. But I take a lot of pride in the fact that I went to school there, I got to play there, and I graduated from Duke.
There's no doubt that he is Mr. Duke, J.J. Redick, and it's hard to argue with that school's incredible success, Greg, whether you like him or not. And I know you've had a first-hand view of Duke a couple times.
You know, and listen, I have the utmost respect for J.J. and Coach K and what they've done there. And listen, you could be known for a lot worse things in your life and haven't gone to a lot worse places. But I think for him, it's not about where he's been. I think it's about where he's going and what's going to be the next chapter in his career.
Now the second quarter getting ready to start up. And guys, what's your take on the Spurs so far?
They've gotten that perimeter game going in that first, and for me, that was the difference.
Hot right out of the gate, generating some early confidence and building on that lead.
We've got Murray. Rudy Gay is out there with Pirtle. Then there's Ginobili. And it's Cunningham in at the 3 spot. So that's who San Antonio starts the second with. And that one's good by Gay.
Getting it done inside. Rudy Gay not just floating around the perimeter.
Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sidelines.
Kevin, the Spurs' Greg Popovich talked about developing players. He said, our method is usually tough love. I don't think coddling works, and beating them to death mentally doesn't work either. You give them a clear picture of what's demanded, show care, understand what makes them tick. If that doesn't get through, you get rid of them. Kevin?
And the military background of Popovich plays a part in this way of thinking, David. It's why the Spurs have been so successful for so many years. The first one falls, and there are so many amazing players in the league right now. Smitty, when you look at some of the guys who came in since you retired, who would you like to have played with or played against?
I think with, it would have been a treat to play alongside LeBron James.
Yeah.
I think against, right now I'd love to see playing up against a guy like Giannis and Kristaps Porzingis, just the different ways these guys affect the game at their size. There's so many guys, and would love to get a chance to just be in front and marvel at watching Steph Curry go through what he's doing, and a Kyrie Irving.
Right.
There's so many guys, Kevin. I just wouldn't want to guard those guys. I'm going to just say play with all those guys, not against.
And they've only got a slight edge on the boards, but it just feels a lot bigger.
And Mills kicks to Gay. And the pass to Cunningham. There's a screen. Here's Pirtle. Excellent D there by Johnson. The 76ers trail by 10. Here's Cunningham. He can't get that one. Great D that time from Johnson. And Dante Cunningham gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul. Philadelphia's gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. Now the feed to Covington. Johnson the screen. Covington kicks to Redick. Fires the three. Score the basket, his third after 5 shots.
You've got to make J.J. Redick a ball handler. He's too lethal as a spot-up threat.
Second quarter of play with almost 3 minutes gone. Mills passes to Cunningham. In the corner, it's Bellinelli. And it's good with time running down in the shot clock. Bellinelli's got his second bucket tonight.
If you're going in amongst the trees, you have got to be aggressive.
Especially at that kind of height disadvantage. You're looking to score the ball or at least draw the foul.
Now, here is Muscala. He had 13 points in the win against Chicago. Mills with it. He kicks it to Gay. The Spurs need to get a shot off here. It's tipped. And they're on the break. Here's McConnell. Lays it in off the breakaway. And almost 4 minutes gone here in the second quarter of play. Now here's Mills. He's covered by McConnell. Mills dishes to Gay. He feeds it to Bellinelli. Shoots over Redick. The shot by Bellinelli. No good. The 76ers trail by 7. Covington wide open. He fires. A three-pointer, no good.
If you're trying to keep the defense honest, that's the one you really have to make.
Here's Bellinelli. And he can't bank that one in. Knocked away. Now here's Covington. D right on him. Pass to McConnell. Kicks it to Muscala. Shoots the three. And out of bounds as the Spurs gain possession. This pause in the action gives us a chance to see the teams that have scored the most points off turnovers this month. Fifth on the list, the 76ers.
They're taking advantage of every mistake that their opponents are making. I mean, they're really converting points off those turnovers.
Looking at who's out there now for the Spurs. LaMarcus Aldridge comes in for Pirtle, and it's DeRozan in for Dante Cunningham. Gay kicks to Aldridge. Lays it up and in off the pretty assist. Aldridge has got 8 points.
Great concentration by Aldridge. Lots of heat on him in there. Doesn't matter.
The 76ers trail by 9. They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Embiid sets the pick for Simmons. Floats one. Another shot. And there's a whistle. He was going up for a layup, and while it looked like there was some contact, I wasn't sure they were going to call it a foul shot or not, but sure enough they have. So he'll head to the free throw line.
And Ben Simmons, who was the first pick in 2016 out of LSU, probably the most heralded player to come out of that school since the great Shaquille O'Neal. And I tell you what, Simmons has drawn some comparisons to some other greats, most notably LeBron James and Magic Johnson.
He misses the free throw.
And the Australian Simmons, a star in the making, folks. Thanks really in part to that tremendous skill set to go along with that gigantic frame.
Pau Gasol is checked in for San Antonio. And the second free throw, good.
And working, Kevin, themselves to the line here in the second. A nice way to get your offense going.
Feeds it to DeRozan. Lays it up and banks it in. DeRozan's got his second bucket of the night. Greg, the Sixers want to ease him into it, but they see Ben Simmons not just as a point forward, but a point guard as well.
And he's got all the ability. Think about this. The Sixers haven't had a player 6'10 or taller average over 3 assists since Wilt Chamberlain back in 1967. The second they drafted Simmons, you knew that would change. And this is what you got to do. I mean, if it ain't working, call timeout, try to figure out what you can do to fix the problem.
You know, also, it's just a chance to take a breath, regroup, get your mind set, and come back out fresh.
And Aldridge comes over to help. So it's Philadelphia now. Saric passes to Fultz. Embiid the screen. Just 5 to shoot. Here's Simmons. The 76ers get it back at a new 24. Spurs leading by 10. And Bellinelli kicks to Mills. Dishes it to Aldridge. Shoots from 8. Bellinelli passes to Mills. Here's Bellinelli. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against the Grizzlies in Memphis. Out to the wing. Lets the 3 fly. Offensive rebound. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. Philadelphia shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game. And he makes the first.
The Spurs, a top 7 offensive team for the last 7 seasons. Their passing and perimeter shooting is what really sets them apart.
He hits one and misses one, each at the line. And the Spurs among the league's best in three-point shooting, but they really don't rely on that as some teams do.
You know, the Spurs can change it up. No, they embrace the mid-range a little bit more than the three-point shot right now. Kind of going against the grain in that way. They take shots other teams avoid, and they make it work for them.
So it's Philadelphia now. After the basket by San Antonio. Embiid in the corner. Gets a very good look and converts.
This is what it means to be a catalyst. His offense helps set the tone for a lot of what they do.
Aldridge a screen. And Bellinelli kicks to Mills. He dishes it to Gasol. And Embiid with the block. But he recovers it. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Gasol. The 76ers trail by 9. Simmons dishes to Embiid. Here's Chandler, and the dunk by Chandler.
And if that doesn't get them fired up, guys, nothing will.
Greg, just what the doctor ordered, huh? Some high-flying antics to narrow the deficit.
Not only does that dunk help in cutting into the... Wow, you knew that DeRozan has that in him. Didn't think he'd pull it off in a game, though.
And that last replay, courtesy of Under Armour. Another unleashed chaos moment. Embiid the screen. Down low. And so it looks like the 76ers will retain possession here.
Yeah, and checking out some stats here for Ben Simmons. What a run he's been on over the past few weeks. Averaging about 16 points, 7 assists, and 5 rebounds. And I'm not sure he can play any better than he has. I mean, surprising a lot of people with his play here of late.
Therein lies the question. Has he reached a new level in his game, or is this just a hot streak that'll eventually cool down? We'll see.
Embiid sets the pick for Fultz. Drills it from outside. Fultz has got his third basket of the night right there.
And they may be leaning a little too heavily on the three-pointer when there are better looks to be had inside.
Murray with it. Now Chandler defending. Murray kicks to DeRozan. Gasol, a screen on Simmons. Gasol passes to Aldridge. Back to Gasol. And finished off by Gasol.
With authority, Pau Gasol turns up the aggressiveness. Always a good sign for this team.
The 76ers trail by 8. Simmons dishes to Sharch. Over Aldridge. And the 76ers tack on 2 more.
And defensively, you've got to make a greater effort working over the screens.
Yeah, he could have made a better choice. He left him an easy one. Let's see how he plays the next screen.
That falls. Nice feed that time from Manu Ginobili. Ginobili's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. Now here's Fultz. He has 7. Sharch outside. Pass to Simmons. Here's Embiid. They shoot again. The shot missing. Now San Antonio takes it the other way. They've held a 12-point lead earlier.
Still no rhythm. This may be a time when you want to make the extra pass. Give someone else a chance.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Timeout called, the 76ers. Now, one thing about DeMar DeRozan, he lives in the gym.
I mean, people talk about that he's always working on his game. They talk about him in the offseason being in the lab with all different type of trainers. And the results, they speak for themselves.
Now Simmons. He's got 5. Fultz. The 76ers with another miss. Now here's Murray. Guarded by Simmons. In the corner, it's Ginobili. Hangs. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. Steve, we've seen some big names retire from the NBA in the last few seasons. I mean, guys that we all admired for so many years. Talk about walking away from the game and not having that a part of your everyday life and what that's like for a player.
Kevin, I think, and especially talking individually, it's the hardest thing. So whenever you started, you've been playing this game 15, 20, and some of these guys 25 years. To be able to say you're not playing this game and to go to the next step, it's definitely hard because you've had this routine. What I love now is guys have done a fantastic job of keeping their bodies in shape. They're able to play 20, 21 years, and one day we're going to see a guy playing 25 years. I think it's fantastic.
What I think about, Steve, is as long as they can remember, all they've played is basketball. And then one day it just kind of ends. I mean, that's got to be such a difficult thing to go through.
It's hard, and I like now a lot of these players now are thinking about that day, and they're better prepared to be able to walk away and walk right into something else. And even if it's being a dad, I like what guys are doing right now.
And here is Simmons. Steady offensive output from him, averaging more than 16 points a game. Here's Embiid. And a little luck that time, but it drops. Embiid's got 6.
And they've worked the ball around so well tonight for those quality looks from mid-range.
And DeRozan kicks to Gasol. Terrific design on the pick play, and he lays it in. Gasol's got 4 points now in the quarter.
I like what he's given them tonight. Efficient offense that's helped fuel this lead.
The 76ers trail by 11. Screen by Sharch. Fultz the pass to Sharch. Wants to get it to Simmons and does. Trying to break that ice-cold streak. San Antonio with the rebound. They host the Kings after this game. That'll be the second game of a 5-game homestand. Chandler with the block.
2 shots, gentlemen. 2.
And for the Sixers, a lot of missed rookie seasons over the years. First Nerlens Noel, then Joel Embiid, now Ben Simmons.
Yeah, but in many cases, I think they drafted them knowing they might be out of commission for a while. Still, I think the Philly fans probably hope not to hear the phrase foot fracture for a long time. Hopefully, they can keep everybody healthy and get this thing moving forward.
That one is off.
And guys, you have to be able to knock down your free throws. Struggling with that this quarter. Good way to let your opponent back in the game.
Robert Covington's checked in for Wilson Chandler. And the Spurs with Pau Gasol and LaMarcus Aldridge up front. A huge front court, long front court. Steve, is that something they can stick with when teams like the Warriors go small?
No, I don't think so, Kevin. That's a challenge for them. Aldridge has to cover the floor in those situations, and Gasol just doesn't have the lateral mobility at this point in his career.
And 1:01 left in the first half of the game. Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Aldridge. Jakob Poeltl's checked in for San Antonio. Cunningham comes in for LaMarcus Aldridge. Philadelphia also making some changes. Amir Johnson's checked in for Embiid. Mike Muscala comes in for Saric. And J.J. Redick is subbed in for Ben Simmons. So it's Philadelphia now. It's a 14-point game. Here's Fultz. The 76ers again can't hit it.
And he's been way off the mark this quarter. It's been ugly.
Cunningham gets the bucket.
They're consistently finding ways to get the ball inside and taking full advantage.
And Redick kicks to Covington. We've got 28 seconds left to play in the first half. Here's Fultz. The 10-footer finds the target. Fultz has got 5 points now in the quarter.
And Fultz can pretty much score from any area, even inside when the D's all over him. Love how composed he is.
There's a screen. And DeRozan kicks to Ginobili. Here is Cunningham. On the wing, DeRozan. And it's good, but hold on. The officials may want to look at that one on the replay monitor. And we are not going to halftime just yet. Officials signaling they are going to review the tape.
And the replay center out in Secaucus delivering the footage. And guys, it sure looks like the shot left his hands just a moment too late.
And they're keeping the call as is. It was close, but he had not released it before the clock had expired.
Yeah, still better safe than sorry. I think they did the right thing to take another look at it. And if it's so close that you can't tell by the naked eye, might as well go to the slow-mo.
And so it's the San Antonio Spurs sitting with a comfortable lead up by 14. They've been playing some inspired defense, giving up very few easy points. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Kevin, thank you. Here with Brett Brown. Now, Coach, it seemed like you guys came out a little flat. How do you get some energy for the second half?
You just got to go with the people that have energy. I feel like we are not the aggressors. We have to do whatever we're going to do through our defense, and so far it's been poor.
Brett, thanks for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks so much, David, and we'll step away briefly, but get you right back out here for the start of the third quarter after this break.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, everybody. Ernie Johnson joined by Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Welcome to the NBA Halftime Show on 2K Sports.
Been working out.
It's San Antonio out on top at halftime. They lead by 14. Kenny?
What a brilliant, unselfish half of basketball they just played. Their ball movement was absolutely impeccable. All in all, just beautiful basketball to watch.
Shaq, what'd you think about Philadelphia?
Sloppy ball, way too many wasted possessions, chucking up threes, missing them. I could hit more threes than that, Ernie. I hope they're talking right now about getting the ball inside, because that's what it's going to take. If they were hitting more threes, that'd be a different story. But if was a fifth, Ernie, you know the rest.
And that is just about going to wrap it up as the second half is moments away. Down to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the crew.
Well, it's been a one-sided affair so far through the first 2 quarters, but there's plenty of time to mount a comeback. We're seeing a tremendous game from LaMarcus Aldridge.
And I love the game plan in that first half. They really valued each possession.
You know what? It's hard to do. Staying focused and disciplined with your approach.
And as we begin the second half, first half wasn't even close, guys, and we'll see if there is a comeback on our hands or more of the same as we get the third quarter started. Kicking off the second half, here's Brett Brown's foul. We've got Wilson Chandler. Ben Simmons is out there with Fultz. Then it's Dario Saric, and it's Embiid in at the center.
And on some plays, everything goes your way except for the finish.
Chandler kicks to Embiid. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. That's on LaMarcus Aldridge. And for Joel Embiid, some real tough times to start his NBA career. Greg sidelined, as we know, for the first 2 seasons with injuries. And just when he got going in season 3, he was dealt a knee injury.
Yeah, it has not been easy. And remember, Joel Embiid is so competitive. You know, he came to the game late, but fell for it hard. And this is what he lives for, to be out on the court helping his team compete.
That free throw, no good. He hits the second from the line. Well, the NBA can be a superstitious place at times, Steve, with all the quirks and characters in the league. And you played. What was the strangest game day ritual that you ever saw?
I think Harold Miner. He touched everything with his nose, his gym shoes, his wristbands, the basketballs at the free throw line, and everybody did. And I think for me, as I got older, it wasn't strange. It was out of necessity. I had to get in some kind of steam room and have all those hot pads wrapped around me just to get loose to play. I
like that story. I don't like Baby Jordan's story, though. Harold Miner, that doesn't work for me. I don't understand that. Up again, and Simmons is right there. Simmons got 7.
What an incredible effort from Simmons, using his length so well when he's hitting the boards.
Aldridge with a screen on Simmons. Shots good by Mills. And the Spurs lead by 13.
Up by a bunch. He's still pushing the action, trying to impose his will.
With this big of a deficit in the score, you think the losing team would be playing harder. Nope, the opposite.
Embiid dishes to Fultz. Misses the 3. San Antonio leading by 13. Now Bellinelli. He's got 6, and Embiid pulls it down.
And you know, you can see in his eyes, he knows that is not a dunk he should have missed.
Fires from 14. Fultz, no good. Spurs have gotten just one of their first 4 shots to fall since coming out of the locker room at the break. Outside DeRozan. From deep. It's hauled in by the 76ers. Their last encounter was in Philadelphia.
I just thought the defense was porous. Got any shot they wanted, really, for most of the evening.
I'll give them credit. Even though they were facing very little resistance, they refused to play down to the level of their competition.
Gasol a screen. Mills with it. Now Chandler defending. DeRozan passes to Gasol. The 10-footer. Again, the miss by Gasol. The 76ers trail by 11. Over in the corner, Chandler. Off target from three-point range.
Oh, you can tell he's frustrated to get that good of a look from 3, and he didn't make it.
And plenty of contact on the shot, so 2 free throws coming up. And Steve, as the big three in San Antonio age and retire, how big was it for San Antonio to sign the all-star LaMarcus Aldridge?
You know, it's huge, Kevin, a Texas native, and it's easy to see why he chose the Spurs. It's been interesting to see him integrate his game into their system.
Shooting two, gentlemen.
The free throw drops for Aldridge.
And LaMarcus Aldridge really possesses tremendous shooting touch when you consider this guy's basically a 7-footer, and he's increasing that range. Last season, up over 40% from three.
Rudy Gay's checked in for DeMar DeRozan. And the 76ers also making a change. T.J. McConnell, he's checked in for Fultz. Both free throws good from Aldridge. And Aldridge doesn't shoot a ton of threes, yet he still earns his keep in that mid-range.
Yeah, on that left block, back to the basket, and with his size, that turnaround, Jay, is just about unstoppable.
And Philadelphia calls time here.
The wheels have come off a little bit leading up to this timeout. He is taking some low percentage shots, and it's killing the floor of their offense. More motion, more ball movement, that should lead to better looks for him and for the entire team.
And now we're 3 minutes into the third quarter of play. Embiid the screen. McConnell with it. And Saric kicks to Simmons. Just 4 to shoot. No stopping him there. Jams it in as he's fouled. A chance now for a three-point play. They get Paul Gasol. The 76ers have missed 4 of their 8 free throws up to this point. Things not really going their way at the line yet.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
That's good from Simmons. And this is the first season where we have ads on jerseys in the NBA with the teams. Gut reaction, Steve, now that you've seen the ads on the jerseys, how do you feel about it?
You know, Kevin, I don't like it because I know it's going to start to add up. Well, we're not going to even be able to see the player's name and the logos. It's just going to be ads everywhere. I understand it, but I don't like it.
You know, I can see it for practice jerseys. I can see it maybe when you're selling it retail to the fans. But, I mean, isn't there enough advertising already? I mean, that's one of the great things about keep it as pure as possible. I get the European deal, but there's so much money here, it would seem like this is just an add-on that doesn't need to be added on.
Kevin, I'm totally in agreement with you. I think practice jerseys, like you said, selling the jerseys maybe, but I think also maybe at the All-Star game, you can fill those guys up for that one game. But I would love to keep it pure, getting a chance to just see those uniforms the way they are.
Aldridge a screen. And Bellinelli kicks to Aldridge. Simmons pulls it in. Simmons got 6 rebounds now in the game. Saric with the screen for Simmons. Launches it. And out of bounds as the Spurs gain possession. And a look here at the shot chart for the Spurs.
And you look at the chart and you see they have done a lot of their damage in the mid-range game. So often teams will try to force everything at the hoop or only rely on the 3 to score, but they have seen what the defense is giving them and taken every open look they found.
And the Spurs with possession. At one point they led by 16. The dish to Bellinelli. Pass to Gasol. Aldridge a screen. No good from Gasol.
Well, just think what's happening here. He hasn't found his groove, yet they still hold the lead.
And Saric kicks to Simmons, and it's in there. Simmons got 7 now in this quarter.
And what skill from Simmons. A total genius at reading the defense and exploiting them in the paint.
Gay outside. Spurs passing it around. Shots good by Mills.
You know, he's a streak scorer. Patty has got into a good rhythm here tonight.
The 76ers trail by 11. They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Oh, the lob for Simmons. Hammers the alley-oop through.
And how about the connection Simmons has with his guys? Once the lob is on its way, you know he's going to finish in style.
And the replay presented by Under Armour. Unleash chaos, giving us the chance to enjoy that alley-oop all over again. And stolen by McConnell. And Simmons kicks to Šarić. And the whistle blows, so a chance here for a three-point play.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
And he's got his first chance at the line here.
In their last contest, guys, he was unconscious from the foul line.
And the Spurs with some changes. Jakob Poeltl's checked in for Gasol. And Dante Cunningham subbed in for LaMarcus Aldridge. And then for Philadelphia, Amir Johnson's checked in for Joel Embiid. Robert Covington comes in for Wilson Chandler. And J.J. Redick is subbed in for Ben Simmons. And that one falls from Šarić. Spurs leading by 6. Now here's Mills. 14 points for him. Gay dishes to Mills. Yes, once again, he remains perfect. 6 attempts and 6 hits.
Completely on his game. Hasn't missed a shot all night. A big part of why this team is winning.
In the Spurs last season, how about setting the all-time record for consecutive winning seasons with 20? This is a group that's won 50 or more games in every one of those seasons, except the strike-shortened one in '99.
The pass to Poeltl. The 15-footer, and the Spurs scoring again.
Textbook form from Poeltl, getting room to shoot from the mid-range and nailing the shot.
And here's McConnell. Outside, Redick. The feed to Šarić. He kicks to Covington. Just 5 on the clock. Gay with the block.
A pretty good defender. Gay using that 7'3" wingspan well. Get that shot out of here.
And he got the whistle, so he'll have a three-point play opportunity.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
For Philadelphia, they have taken 10 shots from the free throw line up to this point and made 6 of them.
And they've been ordinary on the season as well, just about 75% from the line.
Manu Ginobili's checked in for San Antonio. DeJounte Murray comes in for Patty Mills.
One shot, gentlemen.
And that one falls from Šarić.
And one of the problems in the first half, that shoddy work at the free throw line. They needed to fix that, and they've been much improved since the break.
Boy, I'll tell you, from mid-range, Rudy's shot mechanics look effortless.
Outside, Redick. Screen by Šarić. It's deflected. Gay with it, and it's Johnson picking him up. Here's Cunningham. And the 3 off target. The 76ers trail by 7. Šarić passes to McConnell. Johnson the screen. Rob. In transition, here comes San Antonio. And another basket for San Antonio.
Impressive, really, from that short 17 area. They are not missing many.
Outside, Redick. Kicks to Covington. Johnson the screen. Pass to McConnell. 6 on the shot clock. 17-foot shot on the way. And it's wide right. It's off the rim. Gay kicks to Murray. And DeJounte Murray gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game.
Yeah, really good defensive play to cut him off there and square up.
Mike Muscala is checked in for the 76ers. The 76ers trail by 9. Here's McConnell. Johnson the screen. Now here's McConnell, guarded closely. Johnson the screen. Here's Covington, and he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up. And the foul goes against San Antonio. He shot 2 free throws in the game, made 1 and missed 1.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
First free throw is good. And the 76ers making a change here. Fultz is checked in. Both good from the line that time. So it's San Antonio now. At one point they led by 16. There's a good screen. Murray with it. Now guarded by Redick. Murray dishes to Ginobili. Back to Murray. 5 on the clock. Ginobili the pass to Cunningham. That shot off the mark. Now the 76ers take it the other way. Outside, Redick. And Muscala kicks to Covington. Johnson with a screen on Gay. Here's Covington. Got a hand on it.
Gotta love the shot blocking ability of Pirtle. Wonderful timing right there.
The shot by Redick, no good. Spurs leading by 7.
Well, his sophomore season at Utah, Jakob Pirtle led the Pac-12 in field goal percentage at over 68%. Once he developed his left hand, defenders couldn't do anything to stop him.
And Redick kicks to Johnson. He feeds it to Covington. Johnson sends the screen for Covington. Basket is good, and he'll get a chance for one more at the free throw line.
What a play there. The hoop plus the harm.
And Steve, Pirtle was a dominant low-post scorer in college. Can he replicate that, you think, in the NBA?
You know, I think it's going to be hard. Post offense is losing favor in this NBA. You love a big man with soft hands and the ability to finish around the basket, but he has to develop some kind of jump shot.
San Antonio making a switch here. DeRozan's checked in.
Shot.
And that one misses. San Antonio leading. Murray dishes to Cunningham. And Cunningham with the slam.
Yeah, I mean, maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that one.
And we know he's capable of those memorable ones. It's Covington on the wing. Johnson the screen. Covington passes to Johnson. Feeds to Redick. It's deflected. And now the fast break. Ginobili with the ball. Here's DeRozan. Dishes it to Murray. Spurs working the ball around now. Pirtle with the ball. Johnson's there. They get it back. Second shot opportunity. Misses the layup. The 76ers trail by 7. Now Redick. He has 7. And Johnson now top of the key. Covington against DeRozan. Johnson the screen. Launches a three. And Pirtle pulls it down. Pirtle's got his 8th rebound here tonight. DeRozan, and a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here.
The aggressiveness that DeRozan attacks the rim with is what gets him to the line more often than not.
This is his 3rd trip to the free throw line in the game.
And he's at nearly 90% from the free throw line this season, so having a terrific year.
And that free throw good from DeRozan.
Good free throw shooter DeRozan. Started out as a go with the flow type player. Now looks to dominate every game.
Both good from the line that time. 11 seconds left to play in the 3rd. Johnson the screen. Here's Fultz. Off target. And so it's San Antonio. Ahead by 9 as the quarter comes to a close. Their defense has been terrific in this game. We'll return shortly. A chance now to hear Greg Popovich talking to his team just moments ago.
You can't forget about the boards. If we don't go to bodies, they're going to be at the rim all night.
And pretty unsurprising there, Greg Popovich reminding his guys to block out, play fundamental basketball.
Yeah, I mean, you work so hard at everything else. You have to finish the defense. It would be a crime to give up those extra possessions.
Hello and thanks for joining us, folks. The 4th quarter of play getting started. Murray out there with Ginobili. Then there's Pirtle. Then it's DeRozan. And it's Cunningham in at the force line. That's the San Antonio 5. Murray kicks to Cunningham. Left side, DeRozan. Drains the three-pointer. And the Spurs lead by 10.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Outside, Redick. He dishes it to Muscala. Pass to Covington. 6 to shoot. Johnson with a screen on Ginobili. Here's Fultz. Muscala. Rebound San Antonio. At one point they led by 16. Inside, Covington with the steal. Johnson dishes to Covington. But they get it back.
And I just love how he's banging down low. His hard work will let them use some more of the clock here.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. Move shots.
No good on the free throw. A different look now for San Antonio. Saul comes in for Jakob Poeltl. And LaMarcus Aldridge is subbed in for Dante Cunningham. Then for the 76ers, Joel Embiid. He's checked in for Johnson. Chandler comes in for Robert Covington. And Simmons subbed in for J.J. Redick. And he sinks the second. Spurs leading by 9. The dish to Ginobili. Good-looking screen by Gasol. It's Ginobili with the drive, and he gets the shot to fall after coming off the pick.
That was a hard pick set by Gasol, willing to sacrifice his body out there.
Final quarter here, and we're just over a minute and a half through it. And Simmons kicks to Muscala. Shot clock reset for Philadelphia. Simmons passes to Fultz. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot two.
And liking how Fultz stays patient on offense. Outstanding at using the pump fake to draw defenders in the air. The rest is simple.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
No good on that one.
And rarely do you see a team trade out of the first overall pick, but that's exactly what the Celtics did with Fultz. Sixers jumped on the chance to move up, and Fultz matched exactly what they wanted to add to this team.
Here's what San Antonio's going with right now. Bellinelli, he's checked in for Ginobili. And it's Mills in for DeJounte Murray. So neither attempt will fall that time for him. And you know, Greg, for the trade, it wasn't so much a critique of Fultz.
You know, Boston had a playmaker already, and they might not have taken Fultz if they stayed in the #1 spot. And listen, the Sixers were in desperate need of a lead guard, and they got a franchise caliber one in Fultz.
Pau Gasol, as skilled of a big man as you'll find in this league, in my opinion. Passing, shooting, handling, you name it.
You were just talking about Pau shooting last season. He shot almost 55% from three-point range. How about that?
That's how you fend off Father Time. Keep adding layers to your game.
That free throw missing.
And Pau Gasol, one of the most skilled 7-footers this league has ever seen. Whether it's the low post, high post, flaring off picks, you want the ball in his hands.
And Pau Gasol, a very good perimeter shooter, starting to stretch his range out beyond that three-point arc.
Yeah, his face-up game is becoming more and more prominent. Working from that elbow, he's become more of a triple threat. He can shoot it, drive it, and pass at a high level.
And it's Aldridge missing. The 76ers trail by 9. The shot by Chandler, wide open. No luck, they battled on the glass, but couldn't knock it down. Here's DeRozan, and he gets it to go from the corner. And the Spurs lead by 11.
Yeah, the onslaught continues. He's been unstoppable now for a couple of nights.
The momentum is building, scoring in a bunch of ways. That's why his number keeps getting called.
Chandler right side. Passes it to Muscala. Simmons dishes to Embiid, and Simmons kicks to Fultz. Embiid sets the pick for Fultz. Chandler with the ball. Now guarded by DeRozan. Muscala knocks down the 3-ball.
And all those second chance points have given them a boost here in the second half, and that's a great way to cut into the lead.
Aldridge is screen. DeRozan passes to Mills. Back to DeRozan. Got a piece of it. And now Philadelphia on the break. Fultz with the ball. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
2 shots. Elbow. 2. Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
First one falls for him. Sharge checked in for Muscala. And that's good as he hits both of his shots. Mills with it. And there's the pass to Bellinelli. Gasol dishes to DeRozan. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle and 2 shots coming up. That one on Chandler.
Make him foul you to stop you. DeRozan with the strength and vertical ability doing damage inside.
And the first one drops. Both free throws good from DeRozan. The 76ers trail by 8. Chandler a screen. Fultz kicks to Chandler. The feed to Simmons. And he banks in the layup.
And Simmons is a purebred scorer, a dominant offensive talent who can score in so many ways.
Now here's Mills. Here's Bellinelli. Gasol kicks to Aldridge. The shot's good.
I love the body control to take the hit, still convert. Aldridge now going to the line for one more.
And that one falls for LaMarcus Aldridge.
It's interesting. Aldridge used to shoot more free throws. That's when he used to bang inside. Now he's shooting a lot from the outside, so that trend will likely continue.
Screen by Sharch. Here's Fultz. San Antonio with the rebound. Aldridge has got 4 rebounds now tonight. Now here's Mills. Guarded by Simmons. Baseline try, and that one comes up a bit short. The 76ers trail by 9. Lets it go from 14, and the shot goes in.
He really looks composed shooting the ball this half. Much more consistent, hitting a much higher percentage.
Mills passes to Bellinelli. He kicks to DeRozan. Aldridge sets up the pick now for DeRozan. To the inside, here's Gasol. And Philadelphia grabs the miss. Embiid's got rebound number 12 here already in the game. To the middle, and Embiid throws it down.
And guys, really admire how Simmons finds the open man consistently. The vision, the unselfishness. That's what you want to see out of him.
Aldridge with a screen on Simmons. Mills dishes to Aldridge. Shot number 12 goes in. He's made 7 of 12 now.
I mean, already hot coming into the game. Is it fair to say he's hotter?
Outside, Simmons. Kicks to Fultz. Embiid sets the pick for Fultz. Shoots over Mills. Fultz, no good.
And the truth is, I've been there. He's trying to find the rhythm on his shot. He feels like he's close, and that's why he keeps shooting.
Chandler against DeRozan. Here's Fultz. Some solid defense from Gasol.
Tough to cut into the lead when you can't make shots. He's been off all period.
And DeRozan throws it down.
You have to put DeRozan on the short list for best finishers in the NBA. He is fearless going to the rack.
And here is Simmons. Chandler a screen. They set the pick. Now here's Fultz. Guarded closer. Another miss by Philadelphia.
You won't see him miss many of these. A wide open look from distance.
Aldridge with a screen on Simmons. Mills outside for Gasol. Looking to get back on track here. Back to Mills. Outside DeRozan. Spurs working the ball around now. Gasol a screen. A three from Mills. Saric grabs the board. And the call will be against LaMarcus Aldridge. That will be foul number 5 on him. The 76ers trail by 9.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Pass to Fultz.
Tough to cut into a lead when you can't make shots. He's been off all period.
And he really seems to just have lost his touch at halftime.
And they could have used that trying to cut into this lead. He's been off all night.
And Mills kicks to Aldridge. And it hung on the rim, but wouldn't fall for him. Philadelphia's gotten some tough luck from three-point range. In the fourth quarter, they've hit just 1 of 6 from deep.
And you can see he just didn't get squared up with his feet. And the one thing that you gotta love about Markelle Fultz is his versatility. I mean, he's got the size, the passing and scoring ability to succeed at either guard position. He's almost Westbrookish.
The first free throw is good. And you ask the scouts about Fultz, he has the complete game.
You know, Kevin, he checks all the boxes. Athleticism, the size to play above the rim. And above all, I think the feel for the game is quite apparent when you watch him play.
And he makes both free throws.
And the explosiveness of Fultz really is incredible. Just, he's effortless in terms of getting where he wants on the court.
Now Bellinelli. He feeds it to Gasol. Here's Aldridge. Good, and the assist goes to Gasol. 20 points for LaMarcus Aldridge.
Not sure who was supposed to close out on him. Huge defensive breakdown.
And this has been a running theme. Guys out of position, failing to contest. Just look at the scoreboard.
Saric passes to Chandler. Feeds it to Embiid. And so it looks like the 76ers will retain possession here. J.J. Redick's checked in for Philadelphia. Shot clock at 5. Embiid the screen. Simmons. But they'll get another chance.
Wow, another opportunity. Just everything going their way. Pretty much the story of this game.
Redick dishes to Chandler. Pass to Simmons. Second chance shot. Simmons missing again. Spurs leading by 10. And Bellinelli kicks to Aldridge. Count the basket. Aldridge has got 10 points now just in this quarter.
Wow, unconscious has he been this quarter. They're riding that hot hand.
And the 76ers call time here. Nice game. Great performance by LaMarcus Aldridge.
You know, he's been a one-man wrecking crew down low. His consistent scoring has dictated the pace of this game. We'll see if they decide to front him, bring a quick double, or maybe even both to try to slow him down.
And now we've got a moment for our Jordan player of the game, LaMarcus Aldridge.
And it's been a terrific night for him in terms of the scoreboard. They've run a bunch of sets for him, and he's continued to come through. Scoring as well as he has, it's taken a lot of pressure off the rest of his teammates.
Their losing streak had gotten to the point where anybody had to put his foot down. And even though there were other more probable candidates, he's been the one to take over that leadership role. On the sideline, let's catch up with Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, over that last break, Kevin, I got a chance to hear what Brett Brown said to his team. And he tried to pep them up. He said, look, nobody said this was going to be a cakewalk. We knew they weren't going to back down or go away. So if we want this game, we got to take it from them. A lot of fire from Coach during that speech, Kevin.
Out of bounds, it'll be 76ers ball. The 76ers trail by 12. Simmons with it. Now guarded by DeRozan. Chandler kicks to Embiid. Redick is in the corner. Another miss by Philadelphia.
Oof, rough shooting night tonight, but you can't fault him for the effort.
There's 1:38 left in the fourth. Right side, DeRozan. 6 to shoot. Here's Gasol. Good. And it's DeRozan picking up the assist. And that's now 11 points for Pau Gasol. Chandler with a screen for Simmons. And the shot goes in from Embiid.
He turned on the Jets. As soon as he got that screen, and went right to the hole. Great decision making there.
Aldridge kicks to Bellinelli. No good with the triple. The 76ers trail by 12.
No question as to which team gave the better effort tonight. A dominant performance and an outstanding win for the Spurs.
They found a great rhythm from long range.
Yeah, Kevin, every time they left a man open deep, he'd get a good shot at the basket. Didn't hesitate, and that aggression paid off.
And so it'll boost this year's win total for them to 29.
Important. With this win, they split the season series at a game apiece and also avoid the sweep, and that has to be a relief.
And a great team effort tonight, helped in large part with contributions, and the nice night it ended up being for Pau Gasol.
No, there's a few ways to control a game, right? You can do it with pace, you can do it with patience and efficiency. Tonight, he did it by owning the boards.
5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Dishes it to Bellinelli. Back to Gasol. Over Šarić. Again, the miss by the Spurs. Outside, Simmons. And so it's San Antonio easily taking this one. Even early on in this one, it seemed like they were happy to be playing at home tonight.
And it makes a big difference. And once they started to really play in rhythm, you never felt like they had any doubts as to whether or not they were going to win.
And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks very much. Well, Marcus, your game has evolved. Started as a finesse player, and now you have a lot more inside aggression. How did you get more comfortable down low?
It just takes time. You know, I got stronger every year, got better every year. You know, when I was younger, I wasn't strong, but now I'm much stronger. I'm much older now.
And a veteran who gets it done. Thank you, LaMarcus. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Steve Smith, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for tuning in. So long.